My dear friends, I am Srinivas Ayyagari in front of you. Once again, the other day I have presented a video regarding the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, and I have shared some of my thoughts regarding the impact of the war, the genesis of the war, and how it is going to turn. All those things as an introduction, I think I have spoken. Today, I want to continue the topic on the war between Russia and Ukraine. Now, I want to tell you, most of us will be thinking, how come India has not directly supported the Western countries? Why India has not voted in favor of the Security Council resolution? And how come even in the UN General Body, yes or no also, it has abstained. So what are the reasons that we just kept mum, sitting on the wall, going, not telling directly that the aggression of another sovereign country is not correct. So before going into the topic, I want to just go back into the 1970s, 80s and all. As I have told you, during the Cold War, the world was divided into bipolar between Russian Warsaw Pact and the Western NATO and America. And India, even though it was there under an umbrella of non-alignment, but practically we were all doing our own transactions and our own trade with Russia. Most of our transactions with Russia are confined to defense procurement and purchase of the defense spares and other, like Air Force, mostly Air Force, like your big aircrafts and Sukhoi aircrafts and all those things. So that continued. Now, following 91, the split of USSR, disintegration of USSR into 14 to 15 republics, then slowly India thought better to shift our attention, focus of our defense acquisition program from Russia to other Western countries. Even now also, from around 60% of the dependence on our defense procurement from Russia, now gradually it is coming lower by lower and by year. Even now also around 50% of our defense procurements, be it the accessories, the equipment, or be the spare items, which are very critical in production of your aircrafts, your big aircrafts, and any other things like your battle tanks and all. Very critical items. Without that, no aircraft can fly, Unfortunately, till Atmanirbhar Bharat program started by our beloved Prime Minister, no one thought of manufacturing the critical equipment by a joint venture agreement with Russia. No one thought of. But the thing has happened only a couple of years back. This is one area. 2020-21, during Putin's visit to our country, we have finalized the joint production of defense equipment. Say, for example, AK-203 rifles, around 6 lakhs rifles, then indigenous production of T-90 tanks, then Su-30 MKI aircrafts, MiG-29K class aircrafts, then upgradation of your Mi-17 helicopters, and so many such things came into discussion, and agreements took place between India and Russia to start the joint production of these various items of defense equipment. And one of the most controversial S-400 air defense equipment, for which there was a lot of objection from the Western countries, particularly the America. Even despite their objection, we could convince them and get into a deal with the Russian people for procurement of S-14 air defense systems installation and the material started coming, and this is one of the most important area India is giving a lot of prominence. The other thing, as I have already told you, regarding procuring of spares for the ongoing production of your, say, your MiG aircrafts by HAL and all. So there are more than that. Actually, around 9.5 billion is the imports, as against our exports of around 4.5 billion, and most of our imports are confined to your defense only. This is one thing. The second thing is, yes, everybody knows our border are extremely fragile now, with people amenable to our own security interests are waiting for an opportunity at the northern and western borders, and the world is also in a very fluid situation. So how it is going to happen, what is going to happen, even the diplomats are breaking their heads actually, The total foreign affairs, the foreign policy is to be redrafted by most of the nation. So this is such a situation, India, because primarily we have to be militarily well equipped to face any eventuality in the northern and western borders. Our government, they thought it very prudent to keep a safe distance between both the warring nations, that is Russia and Ukraine. That is why India has given a diplomatic statement. I call it as a don't act diplomatically. So the diplomatic statement is country sovereignty should be respected, and any mutual disputes regarding the border or any other disputes are to be settled by means of a mutual talks, deliberations, and giving respect to each and every each other countries actually. So this is what our foreign policy is now. And as against this, there is also, so this must be one of the reasons why India is still not coming out openly. Because even if I come and openly, India says that, yeah, I condemn the aggression of Russia and Ukraine. Is Mr. Putin going to stop the war? No. Even the NATO people, even the American people could not have any impact on totally siding with Ukraine. So why a faraway nation like India, where we have got so many other calculations with the Russian country, I don't feel any necessity that we should come out. It's not ethical. It is called a politics. It is called a diplomacy. Whenever you are doing diplomacy, the country is expected to, our leaders are expected to protect the interests of our own country. It is not the ethics or anything here. That is called a diplomacy. Our people, our leaders, they thought it very prudent that we should not unnecessarily enter into that. Even, see the fun of it, Israel is totally keeping quiet about this, and China is doing ding-dong policy, and UAE, one of the oil-producing country, he is totally in favor of Russia. So the country is not, even though 150 out of 183 countries, they have voted in General Assembly condemning Russia, but still nothing is stopping there, and the bombardment is going on, human suffering is going on. Don't know where we are going to go in the meanwhile. Yesterday there was a virtual conference between the Quad, our America, Japan, Australia and India, properly keeping China in view on its options against our Taiwan. So the world at present is in a very dangerous and delicate situation. Yeah, and definitely one needs to take the military capability and the security scenario into consideration. I fully support the initiatives taken by our beloved leader, Prime Minister, followed by our exceptionally talented foreign minister. And yeah, I hope that things will be localized in Western Europe only, and they will not be touching Indo-Pacific area. If anything happens in Indo-Pacific area, then God has to come and help us, that's all. Thank you. God bless you, Srinivas.